This computer. Hi, everybody. My name is Lisa Keslar, and I'm here on behalf of Cheers for Charity New Hampshire. And I am here with my dear friend, JoAnn Burchuk. Hi, JoAnn.
Hi, Lisa. Yes, hi, I'm JoAnn from Lighthouse Physical Therapy, and so happy to be here again for another episode of Cheers for Charity. And today we're super excited to have Mary Hillyer, who is with the Seacoast Project Linus, sorry. I said Lions, Linus. So Mary, welcome. So glad to have you here. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about the organization.
Sure. So for anybody that's familiar with Charlie Brown and his friend Linus, Linus has a blanket, and that's where Project Linus came from. And our logo indeed has his blue blanket clutched tightly to him. Project Linus is a national charity. It was started in 1995 by a nurse who got inspired by a 3-year-old cancer patient who was absolutely in love with her blanket, and she took her blanket to all of her treatments, and she was interviewed as basically able to get through cancer treatment because of her blanket. So this nurse out in Colorado thought, that's brilliant. It's easy to make blankets, and if you can provide comfort to children just by giving blankets. So I think she made 6 blankets and donated them to the Children's Center of Denver that first year. And that was how it was born. Now it's headquartered out in Missouri. That's where the national office is. There's 300 chapters. And to date, they have donated 8.5 million blankets to children. So here in the Seacoast, it's been active since 2002. And it was mostly one woman that ran it for probably 10 years. And she passed it over to somebody for a couple of years, and now I've done it for 4. And we've donated about over 36,000 from our chapter. What we're averaging is between 2,000 and 3,000 blankets a year. Now these blankets are made by the Low Ladies Knitting and Crocheting, school groups, scouting groups, church groups, women's groups, people who say this would be a good family project. Basically anybody. We've even had an Eagle Scout get together and make a number of blankets as his Eagle Scout project. And so that's who makes the blankets. And what happens is they're made and they're either picked up by someone like myself, or specifically myself, or they're left at some of the drop centers, all the JoAnn stores and some of the quilt shops around over in Raymond area. It's Ben Franklin hardware. So people leave them at those drop-off sites. And then I have a team who go around and pick them up, and I do the same. I have my own section. We pick them up, take them back to our house, check them out that they're good. They have to be new, homemade. They can't be made out of wool. They have to be totally washable. They can't be tiny. We don't want anybody to get less than their fair share. So once they're good, they get a label on them that's got a Linus with his blanket, and it says Project Linus. And then we bag them up by size. And the next step is to ask the agencies that get our blankets, how many blankets do you need and what size? So in terms of who gets the blankets, all the local hospitals, specifically the Seacoast chapter covers all of Rockingham and Stratford counties. So it's Dover, Portsmouth, Rochester, and Exeter hospitals. And they're a big taker of all of our blankets. The foster care programs, the Head Start programs, sometimes the schools. At Christmas time, if I've got extra blankets, I'll contact them and say, are you making up packages for kids that are maybe falling through the cracks and living in hotels and, really need a hand up? And sometimes they'll say, yeah, can you bring me 50? We could really use those. So, and then they write notes back to say, all the kids were wrapped in their blankets when they went home. They were thrilled. So it's a really good circle of love from the community to the community to make the kids that are in stressful situations of many different kinds feel better. And that's their mission, is to provide comfort and security to children and to provide opportunity in the community to get together and to do some good. So that's a lot of the general stuff, right?
That is, well, that's really awesome. Oh my gosh. Those kids must be so excited when they get those blankets. And it sounds like you already have so many people and organizations that are participating locally in helping to generate these. Are you finding like right now you are good, or are you looking, you're probably always looking to have people just keep making those blankets for you?
We are still always looking to have, because people who've made them in the past either move away or they, you know, they are not able to do it anymore. So there's always room for new people. But what we found was with COVID, the hospitals really took less. And my supply, I started looking like a hoarder in my blanket hoarder in my spare bedroom. So I've been reaching out to new agencies to say, do you need blankets? Do you need blankets? So we've recently had some new places like Sleep in Heavenly Peace in Rochester. They heard about us, reached out to us, and I was thrilled. So they only need large blankets because they're giving away twin size beds. So the crib size and the smaller size blankets aren't good for them. So I put out the call on Facebook to say, okay, we really need a lot of large blankets. And it's been good. A lot of the blankets are coming in medium and large size. And we have seen the hospitals, when COVID slacks off, then they want the blankets again. When COVID starts ramping up, then they slack off a little. But hopefully by the time we get back to a normal rhythm, we'll be getting a lot of blankets and we can suffice with all the blankets that are being requested. So, and we also have some local charities, some local contributors. Walmart is recently a big contributor. They have a community grant program that I recently, in COVID, I had more time to do paperwork and to do that kind of stuff. So I applied to 6 of the local 8 Walmarts, and I applied to all 8, and 6 of them gave us $500 grants. So that was $3,000 in 1 year. So I'll be forever thankful and applying to Walmart for their local grants. And Liberty Mutual is also a huge contributor. They provide people on their Serve with Liberty days. We get like 60 people over 2 days just to tie blankets. We usually make over 100 blankets in those 2 days. And we're thankful to St. Mary's, who lets us use the hall for Make a Blankets Day. And they've been very, very supportive, which is nice because that's my parish. Takes a village, right? Takes a village to help these children.
Yes, it does. Well, so that's interesting so you you have these Make a Blanket days. That seems like a lot of prep work. So all these grants and probably any money people donate is put towards, you know, purchasing supplies and stuff for that.
Absolutely. When you think about it, there's some people that make 3 blankets a week, and they're in their 80s, 70s and 80s, these women that, and this is like, it seems like their mission in life, and they have a lot of energy. And if you're making 3 blankets a week, it's about $150 a week, which would be $600 a month. And, you know, obviously it'd be more like 7 or, you know, a lot of money, a lot of money. So what we try to do is supply them with the yarn. They still have to take the time and the energy to make the blankets, but if we can get them the yarn so that they're not strapped, then that's helpful. And there's one lady that makes machine embroidered fleece blankets, and they're adorable. But again, that's a lot of fleece, and she shouldn't have to put out of pocket for dozens and dozens of blankets. For these people that are so productive, I like to be very helpful. And then other individuals sometimes say, I want to make blankets, but I really don't have the wherewithal. So I've got a store's worth of cotton fabric in my basement. And I always tell people, come shop over in my basement. I'll get you fabric, no problem. And that's where donated fabric and donated funds go to, as you said, it's to make the supplies to make the blankets.
Now, do you
Everything
find
else
any
is
of the craft
volunteers.
stores also help provide some of the supplies? Do they donate anything?
The fact that they are drop-off sites for us is huge. I haven't had them offer me, breaks, but I have been to some and they had extra coupons and they said, here, use this for Project Linus or use that. So they're very helpful. They're very supportive when we go to pick up the blankets. They don't treat it like a chore. They're like, look at all these beautiful blankets. Aren't these great? And it's true. The people get them at the schools and the hospitals, and we also supply the Dover and the Portsmouth children's homes where children actually live for months on end. They all get blankets. And people are just kind of blown away at the quality. Some of these quilts are worth $500 or $600 each. And they're all, like I said, washable and bright and warm. And some of them are silly. Those are the best kind to bring a smile to kids' faces. So I will be probably handing over I'm called the chapter coordinator, and I'm probably going to hand over that to somebody else because of retirement conflicts that will take me out of the area. But I'll be on the team and still making it all happen and doing my share. And again, being part of the community that helps these children get that comfort and security from the blankets.
That's awesome, Mary. So I'm sure they're so grateful for all the service that you've done and all the goodness you've shared with others. That's fantastic. So there's a couple things that you mentioned that, people can either, get involved by making blankets. You accept donations, and you're also looking for organizations that might be able to pass out blankets to those in need. What's the best way for people to get more information?
Well, we have a website, which is just you would access us by finding our chapter through the National Project Linus, www.projectlinus.com, and you can drill down to find information about us there. We have a Facebook page on which I post almost every single blanket that comes through my doors. That is NH space Seacoast space Project space Linus. And my email is all together, nhccoastprojectlinus@gmail.com.
That's awesome. Well, we really appreciate you taking a time today to spend some moments with us, give us this really great overview of this fantastic organization that's just making an impact in our communities day after day after day after day, for a lot of years. So super cool. It was really great to learn more about what you do, and we look forward to seeing more goodness ahead from you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you both.